probably all seen the show Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don at some point. But the cast looks completely different now than they did when they started out way back in 2014. Stay tuned until the end to see how Dawn has grown. New around here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Now, on to Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn before and after. Allison Munn. You may know her better as Anne Harper, but the mother of the quadruplets in the show's real name is actually Allison Munn. Though this project has been one of her more successful ones, Munn is no newbie to acting. After graduating from the College of Charleston, Munn decided to try out acting as a full-time job and moved to New York. There, she landed a role in the off-Broadway play The Fantastics. After appearing in over 500 performances of the play, she moved to LA. After making that move, her career took off. She landed a role in the critically acclaimed show That 70s Show, and then even was given a part in What I Like About You. She then played the role of Cindy in the CW show Carpoolers and even acted in One Tree Hill, which was one of the most popular television shows of its time. All of this was before she took the role of Anne in the Nickelodeon show Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. Munn has changed her looks a lot over the years. Before the show, she rocked dark locks. They could even be described as her signature look. But before taking on the role of the quadruplets' mother in 2014, she traded in her dark hair for a lighter version, going completely blonde. We have to say, we love this look on her. It makes her look very youthful and fun. Brian Stepanek. Having quadruplets can be hard. When you ask most people, they would say that one kid is a handful, so we can't even imagine what it would be like with 4. But married couple Tom and Anne Harper make it seem like a manageable job on Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. Tom, the quadruplets' father, is played by Brian Stepanek. You may recognize him from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where he played Arwen. But Stepanek has been acting even before that. He has been winning awards for acting since the 1990s, which is before his on-screen children were even born. Since the show first began in 2014, we have seen a few changes in Stepanek. Once you reach your 40s, you don't change much in between the decades, but he does look older since the start of the show. Maybe all that on-screen stress? His strong presence has certainly made a difference in the program. The running joke of the show is that Tom seems to care more for his toys and hobbies than he does for his children. But there are several scenes in the show which prove this to be untrue. He really does love all of his children. His character is also not the smartest. Whenever he tries to do something, it never turns out correctly, which leads to even more hilarity in the show. Kyla Simmons. Kyla Simmons is one of the sweetest faces on the series. She plays May Valentine, who is Dawn's best friend. Simmons' character is always supportive to Dawn, so much so that she regularly gets dragged into Dawn's schemes. But what else are best friends for? We were first introduced to this character in the episode Dawn Moves Out. She helps Dawn to realize that she needs her own bedroom and should move out and stop sharing a room with her brothers. May and Dawn are co-presidents of the school newspaper, and though they bump heads from time to time, the two work well together. She is such a great person, in fact, that Dawn's 3 brothers believe they are in love with May. Over the course of the show, Simmons has grown a lot, and so has her character, May. She is now 13 years old, which means that she has turned into a teenager while the show has filmed. She has practically grown up right before our eyes. Simmons has also guest starred on popular series like Grey's Anatomy, NCIS, Castle, Jessie, and How I Met Your Mother. She also had a role in the Academy Award-nominated movie Prisoners, so we think it's safe to say that we will be seeing much more of Simmons as she grows and develops into a more mature actress. Theodore Barnes. Nothing makes school better than having a love interest. For Dawn's best friend May, that person is Miles. He is a friend of all the quadruplets, but he is dating May. The relationship between the two hasn't always been easy, but that can be expected in any adolescent relationship. In a few episodes, Dawn comes off as jealous of the relationship between May and Miles because she worries that she will lose her friend. But they eventually talk it out and May agrees to make time just for Dawn. The character Miles is played by Theodore Barnes. Over the course of the 20 episodes that his character has been a part of, we have seen some changes in Barnes. He is now 13 years old. This is the pivotal age where most boys begin to shed their boyish features and begin to look more manly. We have begun to see that with Barnes. We can only imagine what he will start to look like if his character Miles stays on the show. The program has been renewed for another season with more episodes, so chances are we will be seeing more of Barnes along with the quadruplets. We can't wait to see where Miles and May's relationship goes from here, and we hope that Dawn won't be too jealous. Sienna Agudong. Everybody has friends who they don't really like all that much. For the quads in May, Natalie is their friend. She is meaner than a lot of the other characters on the show and even a bit aggressive. This could be due to the fact that people are always pronouncing her name wrong. A lot of people say Natalie when her name is actually Natalie. We can bet that would be pretty frustrating. The character of Natalie is played by Sienna Agudong. Agudong first began acting on the show Killer Women, which aired in 2014. She played the role of Lulu Parker. Since then, she has been landing regular roles on several television shows, including Tiffany on Teachers. She has been guest starring on Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn for the past 3 years, and over those years, we have seen a lot of growth from this young actress. In the past 3 years, she has gone from being a bright and starry-eyed 10-year-old to a mature 13-year-old. Though her role on the show is not a main role, we have seen lots of range in the acting capabilities of Agudong. We hope that her character will also be returning for the new season and that she will maybe even be given a more principal position. Hayden Crawford. If you are planning on getting into lots of shenanigans, then you're going to need some tools to get the job done. That's where Dooley comes in on the show. He is the quadruplets' go-to guy for scheming and the tools needed to complete said schemes. When the Harpers wanted to make their own reality television show, they went to Dooley to get the cameras and other equipment. He does come in handy quite often, but he is a bit of a know-it-all. He's not actually friends with any of the quadruplets. He's more like resources that they use when they need him and a nuisance when they don't. He's great to have around when you want to do something that your parents wouldn't like getting your ears pierced, which he does help Dawn do. But it does make you wonder, where is Dooley getting all of these supplies? The quadruplets often wonder this as well. Dooley is played by Hayden Crawford, who is a relatively new actor on the scene. Besides playing Dooley, he has also been featured in Dream Chasers and will appear in 2018's Magic Camp. His character has appeared in 13 episodes of the show. Through that time, we have seen some growth from Crawford. He's beginning to lose his baby face and slim down a bit. Who knows what he will look like as the show continues. Aiden Gallagher. Aiden Gallagher may be young, but that doesn't mean he isn't an experienced actor. He landed the role of Nick Harper in the series Nicky, Ricky, and Dawn. He started acting at the young age of 9 years old on an episode of the Emmy Award-winning series Modern Family. His character on the show is the youngest quadruplet. He's quiet and mostly tries to stay out of trouble. Though he is one of the most responsible of the quads, he often gets dragged into his older siblings' schemes. He tries to keep to himself and loves cooking. But whenever he is around his siblings, he can't help but go along with their ridiculous plans. When we first saw Nicky in 2014, the character was just a kid. He was young, cute, and completely childlike. Now, 3 years later, Gallagher is 13 years old, starting to lose some of his childlike looks, and his baby face is becoming less round as his hair has grown out quite a bit. With such a drastic change in only 3 years, we wonder how this quad will look in the years to come. We also wonder how it will affect the storylines of the show. Eventually, the cast will not be able to play the roles of the innocent little children anymore. The themes will have to move into things that affect teenagers more than preteens. It will be interesting to watch. Casey Simpson. Scoring a lead role as one of the Harper quadruplets probably wasn't easy to do, but Casey Simpson managed to do just that. He plays the part of Dicky Harper in the hit Nickelodeon show. He is the second quad born, he is the book-smart one of the bunch and thinks that he is the only normal one out of his siblings. He believes himself to be the leader of the pack. Though he is super smart, he still can't manage to use his smarts to stay out of his siblings' problems. Whenever the quads are together, which is most of the time, trouble seems to follow. Ricky also, unfortunately, has a short temper, which causes him to get into more than a few sticky situations himself. He also has a bit of a serious nature, which causes him to become extremely annoyed when his siblings don't take things seriously. Simpson has been acting since he was 3 years old. He landed his first role on Frank TV in a comedy skit titled Santa. Since then, he has been on several commercials and even on ABC's The Goldbergs. He also has over 6 million fans on his musical.ly account. Since the show first premiered in 2014, we have seen Simpson become a mini adult right before our eyes. His hair is now shorter and a bit edgier, and he's looking more and more like a teen every day. Mace Coronel. One of the middle brothers of the Harper clan is Dicky. He is played by actor Mace Coronel. He is the third born and known as the cool quad. He is often portrayed as being easygoing and a ladies' man. The character is also not the smartest in the bunch, which leads to him being the punchline of many jokes. He always goes along with the schemes of his older siblings because he's just too cool to care either way. Unfortunately for his siblings, Dicky doesn't always quite understand their plans, which causes him to mess things up quite a bit. On the opposite end of things, his other brothers do look up to him in the department of talking to girls. They comment commonly try to copy what he does and be as cool as him, and it just never works. Coronel began acting when he was just 7 years old and landed roles in Days of Our Lives and Heart of Dixie. Since Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don began, Coronel has been growing into his own. His characters may be a ladies' man, but as Coronel has entered into his teen years, his look seems to be setting him up to play that role in real life as well. Lizzie Greene. Dawn Harper has probably changed the most drastically of any of her siblings. The character played by actress Lizzie Greene is the oldest of the Harper quads. She is 4 seconds older than her brothers, but never lets them forget that. According to her, she is the leader of the pack. She is always trying to prove that she can do everything and anything that she wants. By the 3rd season, she does look quite a bit older than her brothers. In real life, Greene is the oldest of all the actors that play her brothers. She is 14, while the others are only 13. That extra year could account for why she comes across as so much older than the boys. When the show first started out, Greene was just a cute little kid, but as the seasons went on, she has begun to blossom into a pretty preteen. You can now see her gracing red carpets and posing for pictures with the style and grace that you would expect of someone much older. It's interesting that she's supposed to be the same age as her brothers on the show because she definitely looks older than them now. We wonder how the writers will make up for this in the coming seasons. Or maybe her brothers will hit puberty and catch up to her. Only time will tell. That's it for Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn before and after. Whose looks were you most shocked by? Let us know in the comments, and hey, thanks for watching. Bye-bye!